And probably now would be a good time to get into the NBA Finals. We are into hour number 3. Listen, every single time the world leaves the Pacers for dead, they just seemingly rise up out of the coffin, they climb up out of their grave, and they stab the world right in the heart. I don't think I've ever seen a team get so doubted and so criticized for so little reason. And I don't think I've ever seen a team do such an incredible job of thriving amidst all of that chaos and heat and doubt. Now, Rick Carlisle will have you believe that it's only outside noise. It doesn't impact them. And I'm inclined to believe anything that guy says because he is a genius and he's in the midst of one of the best coaching jobs in NBA history. And he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. So whatever Rick Carlisle says about his team, I'm going to believe. But there's no way around the fact that OKC were considered historic favorites in this series. Like coming in, it was one of the most one-sided series, according to Vegas. Again, they were minus 700. There is no denying the fact that OKC has been favored in every game in this series. And regardless of the outside noise, the Haliburton injury situation was obviously stressful for the Pacers because they had to prepare to possibly fight for their survival without him. Little did they know that that fight for survival really wouldn't be much of a fight at all. Which brings me to you, OKC. Yo, Thunder. Yite? Yo, Thunder. The hell was that? You guys do realize you could have walked away from that game with the Larry O, right? They had it out there for you to see because it was yours to take. That if you won that game, that was your trophy. You knew that, right? I mean, you did know that was an elimination game, right? Because you sure as hell didn't play like it. Not to take anything away from the Pacers, and especially not from Pacer fan, because that was an incredible atmosphere in Indy last night. I mean, it was deafening even through the TV. I can't imagine how much your ears are still ringing this morning or this afternoon if you actually spent 3+ hours in that madhouse last night. Impressive showing all around from Indiana, but not that impressive. Not blow out the 68-win historic finals favorites impressive. Indiana only shot 41% from the floor. They were under 36% from 3. So it's not like they came out and they put on some wild laser show. Obi Toppin was their highest scorer, and he had 20. Again, not to take anything at all away from them because they played they played a great team, and they played great team ball themselves. They had much better energy, and they were hell on defense. They came at them defensively. But you also tend to look pretty good on defense when the other team is constantly turning the ball over. 21 turnovers for the Thunder last night, and it felt like 51. There was a stretch last night where OKC didn't score for almost 7 minutes of game time. That's the longest scoreless stretch for any team in a finals game in 19 years. The Thunder didn't score for 6 minutes and 49 seconds from the end of the second quarter to the middle of the third quarter, and somehow it felt even worse than that. It felt like they didn't even get up a shot during that stretch, let alone get any buckets. It felt like they were turning it over within a couple of passes on every single possession, which is how Indy was able to close out the half on a 30-9 run, and then ended the half with one of the most epic dunks ever in a finals game. And it's really a perfect example of what I was just talking about. Check out Jalen Williams being incredibly casual with the ball, how he's swiping it, and then Pascal Siakam putting Jalen on a poster and snatching his soul right from his body. Look at this. It's coming. Wait for it.
Jalen Williams, 16 points, throws it away. Haliburton comes up with it. Cross court, Siakam for the slam.
Somebody peel Jalen off the hardwood. Howie looking pretty spry, by the way. Pretty spry all night long, except that luckily they didn't need him all night long. Meanwhile, Siakam just went full demon mode right there. As some people noted on social media, the broadcast seemed to catch Siakam switching into the demon mode before the game in the pregame huddle. Look at this dude and tell me he is not the stuff of nightmare fuel. Check him out. There's a dude who's been there before. I don't know what he was trying to conjure up right there. That dunk, maybe something demonic. Dude was probably visualizing the dunk, though, with his eyes rolling around the back of his head. Richard Jefferson actually had an amazing take when he watched back the replay of the dunk. Don't call the medic, call the morgue.
Don't call the medic, call the morgue.
Great point. Great take. Seriously, call the morgue and inform the family and start shopping for headstones. I don't think Scottie Pippen ever got vaporized in a finals game quite like that. I don't think no Tippin' Pippen ever had a -40 in a playoff game either. Jalen Williams seriously just went from a 40-point game and all these Pippen comparisons to a -40 game. 40! Not only was he -40, he got put on the ultimate poster and completely vaporized. All in a 2-game span? But that dunk didn't just put Jalen Williams in the ground. It put that game in the ground. It ended the game. If that play did not end that game, then the Siakam buzzer beater to end the half did. But by that time, both teams got to the locker room. By then, everybody knew that game was done. That game was finished. OKC would have just loved to pick up their marker and concede the second half. Not even come out. Like, for who? For what? And then that's exactly what they did. They didn't even come out for the second half. Now, in fairness, though, Jalen Williams was not the only one on a milk carton. The entire team was missing last night. My man, Caruso, the greatest player of all time, got goose-egged. 0 points? A -33 for Caruso. I don't even think that was possible for a team to get their asses so thoroughly annihilated with my man Caruso on the floor. No way that could happen on his watch. And it did. And he was a -33? This was an elimination game. Didn't we go through this already in the Denver series? When they could have finished only to get blown out? And don't even get me started on Chet. The hell was with Chet Holmgren? I mean, 5 minutes ago, I'm like, yeah, man, this dude, these skills, man, he's going to be a star. This dude's going to be a stud. Yeah, where's Chet? He disappeared again? Is he an emerging star or an emerging zero? Hey, Chet, make up your mind. The hell is it going to be? The Thunder deserve some heat today, but the Pacers absolutely deserve the praise. And then some. These dudes, this team, this coach. It also helps that Halliburton looked pretty much fine, even though he only had to play 23 minutes. And that's big, too. It also helps to have essentially the best backup point guard in NBA history to pick up the slack. Seriously, could old man TJ McConnell play any better, have any more juice, any more energy, do any more with the minutes that he gets? Is that TJ McConnell or the logo himself running around out there? This dude's playing the absolute best ball of his life in the biggest games of his life. Check out his line last night. 12 points, 9 boards, 6 assists, 4 steals in 24 minutes off the bench for this 6'1", 33-year-old stud. I mean, it's ridiculous. And when you watch him, he's somehow even more impressive than those numbers tell you. The dude's just in complete command out there. Like the ball's on a string. He dictates tempo. He picks the right spots to attack. He pulls up. Obviously, great passer, finds the open man, hits the glass. This dude's incredible. What can the guy not do? Gets in passing lanes on defense, take it into the paint, get the ball back out to Hallie. Let me put it to you this way. There's a reason Halliburton called him the Great White Hope after the game.
Describe the impact that TJ McConnell had on this game.
He's unbelievable, man. He's unbelievable. I don't even have the words. He's a great white hope. You know, that's what we call him. But he's just amazing. Continues to get downhill, put pressure on the defense. And, man, he's unbelievable.
I mean, how does that old man get downhill and put that kind of pressure on defenses? And he does. He puts so much pressure on the defense. A great defense. But then again, it's easier when that great defense just decides, yeah, we're good. We don't need to play. We don't need to show up. For the life of me, I can't imagine a team. And I don't want to hear how young they are. That to me is whack. Yeah, I know that you're the second youngest team ever in the finals. You're not aware of what's up?
That's whack.
You're not aware of what's at stake? That was Game 6, an elimination game after you'd already got blown out earlier in the playoffs in Game 6 against Denver. Yeah, I know. You came back and you smacked Denver in Game 7. But now you've got to come back in Game 7 and you have to deal with a Pacer team that's obviously a much better team. And now you're going to feel that pressure. So what do? What does Indiana do? What does Indiana do in Game 7? Well, we got keys, right? They're going to need the Great White Hope to show up again in a huge way in Game 7 if they want to win Game 7. Because as hideous as it was last night, it's still going to be a big, big ask, even in OKC. You know, I'm guessing that their confidence may have taken a bit of a hit. I'm guessing that Indiana feels better about itself than they ever have. But Indiana's going to need another full team effort. And they're going to need the Great White Hope. And they're going to need Pascal Siakam to go demon again. And they're going to need Nembhard to have another Nembhard game. They're going to need everything to go right again for them to win in Game 7. But if you want to look at it historically, the home team is 15-4 in NBA Finals Game 7s. Now, of course, the last Game 7 we had was at Oracle in 2016, and Golden State did not win that game. We remember that. Once again, OKC is favored, like they have been in every game this series, like they were for the series as a whole. And once again, that's exactly the spot where Indy is most comfortable. So, go ahead. Leave the Pacers for dead on the side of the road again, count them out, bet against them, and then watch what happens. I've been burned badly twice in this series already, betting against the Pacers. I don't even know why. Man, OKC has cost me a lot of money. Actually, Indiana's cost me a lot of money. Actually, I've cost me a lot of money. Like, when am I going to learn? When are we all going to learn? But OKC, I mean, how do you not show up at all? At all? And even in the second half, how many times have we seen Indiana down by 20 and then come out and just keep grinding and grinding and grinding and fighting their way back in and finding a way to get it done? There was none of that from OKC. OKC came out and didn't score for 5 minutes. Like, I don't know what was said at halftime, if anything was said at halftime, but whatever it was, it didn't land. They were done. I can't even imagine. I can't even believe that they came out that flat in that situation. Hey, look, you lose to Indiana in Game 6 when it's an elimination game. No shame in that. You lose a tough game or a tight game or a hard-fought game. No shame in that. But plenty of shame in not even showing up. The hell are they doing? Like, now, you know what? We'd rather win a Game 7. We'd rather win a Game 7 at home in front of our fans. That seems like the only logical explanation for no showing altogether. We want to win at home. You know what's a better idea than winning at home? Not leaving it to chance or risk, because Indiana's different, man. They're just different. They're built differently. You know what's better than winning a Game 7 at home? Winning right this freaking second. You know what's better than waiting and winning a Game 7? Having the Larry O in your hands already. That's the best thing of all. I'm telling you. I'm stunned that they no-showed like that, even after they no-showed against Denver. Now what? Now what's going to happen? I mean, are they going to go home and win by 35 and then have a bunch of dopes say, see, Rome, Halliburton's the most overrated guy ever? I don't know. They might. They might go home and they might win by 30. I'm just saying, I would not mess with it because Indiana's not afraid. They love it. They're comfortable.